Hey there, this is Ryan McDonald with Shade Digital, and this is digital marketing tip number 3. And this one's about Facebook lead generation ads. And so what is a Facebook lead generation ad, you might ask? Well, it's an ad format, and in my opinion, the best single lead generation ad product that's ever been out, ever out there. And that's a bold statement, but really what comes close, it's an effortless, easy way to capture lead information, store lead information, or send it to a different place with the most powerful targeting options the world's ever seen, backed behind it with endless creative possibilities. What more does someone want with a lead ad, right? It's frictionless conversions. So just brief overview of what a lead ad is. So a lead ad, and in order to run an ad for it, you have to choose the Facebook objective lead generation. You have to agree to the terms and services of Facebook for running a lead generation ad. And let's see, what else? You got to have creative, the normal stuff, right? You have to have either a video, carousel ad, slideshow, single image, those sorts of things. But what makes it powerful is it's a mobile-first product. So you click, let's say a lead ad comes up on my screen. I like what it says, hey, get this free ebook. And I don't even like free ebook. Let's just say there's an awesome offer, give us your information, we'll send you our free product. After that, you pay a subscription. I don't know, I'm struggling to think of a really good hook to hook someone in. Let's just say, contact us for a free month of digital advertising, whatever. That's applicable for me, I guess. So they hit get quote or get free advertising, the call to action button. Boom, they hit that. A form fills up, like a standard contact us form, right? But because Facebook has so much data on its users, it's all pre-filled out, or at least most of it is. It depends on what you ask. If you ask something like number of employees in an organization, Facebook might not know that, and they might have to put that in manually, in which case you're going to see conversion rates go down as you put more friction in the process. But if you go with the standard name, email, phone number, boom, let's just say you do that. Name, email, phone number, that's what most people need when they do leads. That's the bare minimum, right? So you do that, and shows up, all that information is already in there. So the user has to do nothing, fill out nothing. And then they go, oh, okay, yeah, that's my name and whatever, and boom, they hit complete. And that's it. It's a 2-click lead form that keeps them within app. There's some downsides. You don't get a pixel of the users or whatnot. They're not exposed to your brand as much as they would be if they went to your website. If you want to call it a con, I guess there are some cons, but there's way more pros. So yeah, and then after that second click, they go to a thank you page. Boom, that lead is then sent into your Facebook page. It's under publishing tools, lead forms. You'll find them collected there. But what makes it awesome is that Facebook, teaming with Zapier and a bunch of third-party CRMs, make it real easy to send that information into your CRM, which is a standard way a lot of organizations with sales teams operate. So boom, it hits the desk of some sales guy. This lead came in 30 seconds ago from Facebook, and boom, they can dial them. And now, some pros and some cons. Some of the cons that I found are that when the process is as frictionless as this is, there are some leads who literally have no idea they gave you their contact information. They're just clicking around. And it sounds sort of, unbelievable, or I don't know what these users are doing. Maybe they're just clicking stuff. Who knows? But sometimes you contact people and they have no recollection of filling out that lead form. And I found that as the friction gets reduced to the point of the Facebook lead generation ads, that the close rates are lower than a traditional lead source, in my experience. And I've done these for a couple different companies, and generally speaking, the close rate is lower than what you're gonna find elsewhere. But the flip side is the cost per lead's way low, way low. Like, I've seen sustainable and scalable lead generation at like $4 a lead, $3 a lead. I know a personal trainer that gets lead forms for $2 a lead. It doesn't get cheaper than that. Like, you just can't ask for better results than that. So yeah, let's say that it closes half as well as your normal lead sources, but it's 25% of your other lead sources cost, right? The cost per lead is 25%. The other lead sources, even though the close rate is half, you're still winning. Like, that's what you need to understand, is you're still winning. There might be slightly higher labor costs involved, right? Because you got to dial more, talk to more people, whatnot, but you're still winning in that equation. And that's why it's super important to know your cost per lead, your close rates, etc., all of that by source, right? If you don't have a good picture of like what's going on from a traffic side, cost per lead by traffic source, paid sources, free sources, and just on a super granular level, you don't know, hey, yeah, that's great. Even though our close rate sucks, we're still making out like bandits. So why is Facebook lead generation ads powerful? And really you can say this about just, I already touched about the frictionless conversion. Frictionless conversions. Two-click lead forms, it's a no-brainer. But the other side, you can say almost about any other Facebook product. Endless creative options, right? There's just so much you can do with Facebook creatively that, and I'm not the most creative guy. I guess I'm way more of a numbers guy. Data, analytics, numbers. But I'm a man who appreciates good creative. I know for a fact that good creative sells. I know for a fact that good creative lowers your cost per sale. And if someone is a strong creative, they can create some kick-ass ads on this platform. And it goes regardless of what your objective is, whether that's lead generation, traffic, standard conversions on a website, awareness, engagement, video views. There's a lot. There's a lot you can do. And, some people get like too many options and they kind of get paralysis, right? There's 30 toothpaste in an aisle. Which one do you pick? Sort of thing. But for people who know how to tell a story and know how to show off a brand, it doesn't get better. So the creative side is great. What I love as a data guy is the targeting options. The sheer amount of targeting options and how accurate they are, how granular they are, how you can layer them, how you can go end these people or these people, how you can schedule by time. Like, there's so much that goes into the targeting side. And for those who aren't aware, marketers 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago could never even imagine that this level of detail would be available. it just is unheard of. It's unheard of. There's no other way to put it. It's in the history of advertising, there has never been better demographic, interest, or behavioral targeting than Facebook. Period. And Facebook owns Instagram. So, I mean, you can run this on both. It's like selecting a placements. You can run it only on Instagram, or you can run it on both, Facebook and Instagram, or third-party sites. Facebook has a network of sites out there their ads can run on. Yeah, it literally doesn't get any better than this. And the one caveat is on the behavioral side, it's real hard to beat AdWords. When people are searching for what you sell, so that's my one caveat, is AdWords is such high intent traffic that I'm gonna say on the behavioral side, they still beat Facebook, but that gap is closing. Facebook's algorithms are getting so good at identifying people who convert. And another reason why this is powerful, not just the targeting, not just the creative, but Facebook's algorithms that underpin their ad network. So let's say you're running this, and let's say you're targeting an audience of 1 million people. And let's say, 1,000 people have been shown. And of that 1,000 people, let's just say 50 people fill out the lead form, which is not unrealistic, but it's pretty high. But as more people fill out the lead form, Facebook's algorithm gets better and better and better at finding those people that match those first 50 that are very similar to them, and serves your ad, prioritizes your ad to those people in an effort to get you the lowest cost per lead. That's powerful. And I've even talked shit to some people who've worked at Facebook back in the day of, there's not enough intent built in this platform. I would love to see some more intent built into it. And they listened, but they didn't do it in a traditional search type fashion. They did it in using data and algorithms and machine learning to find that intent that someone might display elsewhere, marking that and knowing and storing that and finding those people. They might do something off of Facebook. Facebook still knows. That's the scare, and that scares some people. Facebook buys data. They have a ton of data on Facebook and Instagram. But guess what? When you install a Facebook tracking pixel on your website, you're giving Facebook access to all of your users, whether they came from Facebook or not. So they have just mountains of data and the best algorithms in the world to parse that data and find your best cost per sale, or best cost per lead in this case, to make this platform and this ad format specifically fantastic. And I just want to touch on a couple strategies for lead ads. One is new customer acquisition. This is the term I use for targeting people who have never been exposed to your brand before, who might not be aware of your brand, your service, your product, whatever. And this is the first time that they're being exposed. You're gonna have worse conversion rates targeting people like this, no matter what ad format you use. First time someone is exposed to a brand, generally they don't buy. And that's okay. Who does, right? Let's say I get exposed to the best blanket manufacturer in the world tomorrow. I might not buy a blanket right away. I'm gonna move this just so the sun is not in the way. Where was I at? Oh yeah. So they're not gonna convert, maybe on the first try. but that's okay. But if you still want to go pure new customer acquisition for Facebook lead generation ads, I encourage it. Just know that it's probably going to be a higher cost per lead strategy than some of the others. But if you do, go for behavioral-based targeting, right? People who make a certain purchase or do a certain activity or something behavioral, not demographic, not interest, behavioral. That should keep your cost per lead on the lower end of the new customer acquisition spectrum. And that should have your best results, assuming that your creative's in line and whatnot. God, I've got to backtrack just a little bit. One other thing that makes this ad format powerful is it stays on Facebook. If your website sucks, your website isn't even existing in 2018, your website got hacked by some Russian hackers in Moscow and they're just laughing it up, drinking vodka or whatever, that's fine. You don't even need a website for this strategy. You can generate leads with no website. How many digital lead generation strategies are out there that don't rely on a website? As someone who's been doing this for 6 years now, I can tell you there's not many, So, and there's downsides to them not going to your website, but there's a lot of pros. And for most businesses have terrible websites. Plain and simple. They just do. So staying in app is huge. All right, so I'm jumping around, but going back to the strategies, my favorite is retargeting, right? You bring people to the website via other means, whether SEO, or organic search, paid search, Facebook traffic ads, Facebook conversion ads, LinkedIn, Pinterest, who knows? I mean, there's a million places you can, YouTube, right? YouTube, you can get traffic from. So this is setting up a retargeting play using Facebook lead generation ads. This will have your lowest cost per sale or lowest cost per lead, without a doubt. Period. So, and how do you set this up? Well, you make sure you have your Facebook conversion pixel, or whatever you want to call it, the Facebook pixel on your site. It tags the users, it cookies them, and then you can retarget them based on their interactions on your website. You group them into different buckets, or by time duration. I recommend a combination of both, and keeping the time duration relatively low. Relatively. Don't go past 90 days for Facebook lead ads. If you're retargeting people past 90 days for this strategy, don't. Just don't. And that's a rule of thumb. There's cases to where, yeah, go for it, but you gotta know where those are. And in general, those are gonna be lower quality leads. They're gonna be your highest cost per lead, etc. 30 days. If you can only set up one audience, go all visitors excluding those who've converted for 30 days. All right, that's a reasonable time frame. It's a reasonable audience for most businesses. And depending on your website traffic, you might not be able to get deep into segmentation. If you don't have a lot of traffic, it's hard to go deep on the segmentation when it comes to remarketing plays, right? Because you want to make, there's a whole host of reasons why. I can make another video post about this, but so yeah, do that. You'll have a lower cost per lead. The third option is interesting, and this is something that I have not done yet, but I would love to come into this situation. So a ton of companies just do video ads, right? Video view objectives. Let's say the video explains the product, introduces the product to a certain demographic, and they show it on Facebook, Instagram, and it's fine, right? They're just branding. Tons of businesses do it. It's no big deal. But you combine a video ad with a Facebook lead ad, right? Video creative, Facebook lead ad. That same branding that you were doing before, that you're, playing the long game on your branding, still doing it, but now you have a very easy conversion optimized way to get sales or leads that end up into sales through your branding efforts, your previous branding efforts. That to me makes a ton of sense for a lot of software-based businesses. There's so many applications, you got to have the right creative, right? That introduces your product and all that other stuff, but give that a try. If you're in the position to, if you have the creative or you want to go make the creative, and you normally do a lot of branding, Facebook, lead generation ads, video creative, boom. Boom. You're setting up your business for winning the long game, right? With branding, exposure, getting more people aware, while also creating a frictionless conversion process for those who are interested immediately and want to buy immediately, or want to demo software immediately, or want to schedule their dentist appointment immediately. Whatever industry you're in. And like I said, I think it works for quite a few different industries. And that's really it. Just covering Facebook lead generation ads. If you like this digital marketing tip, subscribe, like this video. I can't say that enough. I do this to provide value, and the best way I know that people are getting value out of it is them commenting, subscribing, liking videos. You do that, I know I'm not just some guy talking to himself on a camera. All right, have a good one, best of luck. And if you try this, email me, comment, let me know how it goes. And if you're setting this up and you have questions, hit me up. I'm available. All right, thanks.